All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Granite Files. Well, boy, did I get a lot of reactions to the last video that I made. For those of you who may be joining us for the first time, the County of Henrico is intentionally polluting our public drinking water with a recycled hazardous waste byproduct called hydrofluorosilicic acid. The EPA defines this as a contaminant. The FDA defines this as an unapproved drug. And in the Virginia Waterworks regulations, we define it as a pollution. Now, this chemical drug damages the brains and bodies of children and adults, right? It damages your brain in a way similar to lead. It causes a type of disfigurement called dental fluorosis. It also damages your thyroids and seems to increase your chances of bone cancer and other types of cancer. Now, you would be shocked if you're hearing this for the first time that the county would intentionally be polluting our public drinking water, but that is in fact what they are doing. Now, a federal judge has ruled that to put this chemical drug in the drinking water poses an unreasonable risk of injury. Imagine that. And the merits of that case stand. Moreover, on October 31st of 2025, the FDA decided to ban doctors from writing fluoride prescriptions for children. So as it stands now, a doctor cannot write a prescription for fluoride for any children under the age of 3, and they cannot write a fluoride prescription for children who are at low risk of tooth decay and who are at moderate risk of tooth decay. Now, I want you to let this sink in. Currently, as it stands, doctors, if a mother wants a fluoride prescription for their child to ingest, a doctor is forbidden from writing that mother or that toddler a prescription. But the Henrico Waterworks operators, they are currently putting that same chemical drug into the drinking water. So doctors are forbidden, but the Henrico Board of Supervisors are putting it in the water anyway. Now, a lot of you will think that this is insane, but this is the state. This is the situation in Henrico County. And so I have been on a mission, on a crusade, if you will, to stop the county from intentionally polluting our public drinking water. There is no legislation that allows the county to intentionally drug the population with a recycled hazardous waste byproduct that damages the brains and bodies of children. So, but that's where we are. And because the Board of Supervisors, the county manager, the DPU director, and the waterworks operators continue to engage in this conduct, I have been forced or compelled rather, to put an end to this. So I filed a declaratory judgment asking a judge to declare whether or not Henrico can engage in this conduct. If they are not allowed to force them to stop, so I've done an injunction to force them to stop, a request for an injunction, and a writ of mandamus to compel to compel the county to provide pure water as defined under the Virginia Constitution, state laws, and our waterworks regulations, right? I would like to compel the county to perform what they call ministerial duties, okay? So essentially you don't have a choice, you have to do this. Okay, so that is where we're at. And because I've never actually done anything like this before, I was encouraged to go to court and observe a bunch of cases. And so I did just that. And I made a video about it, documenting my experience. And one thing that came up after folks saw this video was they had the need to smack talk Misty Roundtree. Now, in case you're just joining us, Misty Roundtree is a board of supervisor. Okay, so she is one of the individuals engaging in what I believe is illegal activity. They don't have the right to spend the money on this fluoride program. They don't have the legislative authority. The list goes on and on and on. Go check out the other videos because it's a lot of things that I believe that they are doing wrong. So Misty Roundtree, the board supervisor, she is one of the individuals that is responsible for this chemical drug being in our drinking water. They intentionally purchase it. They intentionally put it into the drinking water. They intentionally feed it to pregnant women and babies. There's no safe level to ingest. This doesn't promote pure water, or what some people would call the potability of water. Okay, so after people saw this video, there was a lot of smack talk regarding Misty Roundtree. And but I described in the video how Miss Roundtree was defending an individual accused of a crime. Okay, she is a criminal defense attorney, and immediately the response was, look at her defending the worst of the worst, and so forth and so on. And I said, hold on, wait a minute. Everyone has a right to a defense in America. Okay, you were innocent until proven guilty in America. And I said, if you were accused of a crime, whether you did it or you didn't do it, you're going to want someone like Misty Roundtree to defend you or to defend your child, right? In America, that is what we do. That is what the Constitution demands. So people then, kind of set aside the emotional aspect and said, yeah, you're right. Think of this gentleman, Tyler Robinson. He is accused of committing a murder. And in the eyes of the law, he is innocent until proven guilty. That is the way it works. And he deserves, there's a lot of people I know that feels like this gentleman is innocent, and he deserves a defense attorney. Everyone deserves a defense. And there are folks that believe that he did do it. And if they are conducting themselves in a proper manner, they would say that Tyler Robinson allegedly murdered so-and-so, right? So it's not fair to say this person did X, Y, and Z until they've been convicted, right? Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. So even the board of supervisors, who I believe is intentionally polluting the public drinking water, right? That's what all the evidence shows. They acknowledge that they're putting it into the drinking water. They just feel like they have the legal authority to put this chemical drug in the drinking water that harms the brains and bodies of children, right? And so there are a lot of people that believe that they can, marry children, right? Well, there are people who believe that they can do all sorts of things that are illegal. And so in the eyes of the law, what the county is doing, they are innocent until proven guilty. So we will see. The county believes that they have expressed statutory authority to intentionally pollute the public drinking water with the recycled hazardous waste byproduct called hydrofluorosilicic acid. So when I started defending Miss Roundtree, people were very shocked. And I said that according to the U.S. Constitution, everyone has a right to a defense attorney. And I found her her performance, for lack of better words, to be adequate for what was going on. She vigorously defended her client. So you would want that. If you did something, you were accused, your child did something, you would want somebody such as Misty Roundtree. Okay? And Miss Roundtree has said several times that she's highlighted, I should say, several times what the Constitution says, such as we don't allow for illegal search and seizure. So the police, she's made it clear, the police cannot just walk into your house, right? They have to have a warrant to come into your house. Now, the question, if I ever had the opportunity to sit with Miss Roundtree, the question I would have for her is, the Virginia Constitution requires pure water. And as a Board of Supervisor, she is required to uphold the Virginia Constitution. And my question for her is, does she believe that she is upholding the Virginia Constitution that requires pure water when she's part of this, I don't know how to put it, group rather, that is intentionally putting hydrofluorosilicic acid into the drinking water? When hydrofluorosilicic acid is going into the drinking water and she stands by and allows this conduct to continue and allows the county to continue to spend money on it, is she actually defending the Virginia Constitution that requires pure water? Is she protecting the public, the citizens of Henrico County, the children of Henrico County? Remember, this drug, it's an unapproved FDA-defined drug. This drug is too dangerous for doctors to write a prescription to give to toddlers, but the Henrico Waterworks operators are putting the same drug into the drinking water. So anyway, that is where we're at. It was kind of strange to be defending Miss Roundtree, given how over the past several years I have condemned the behavior of drugging the public and being part of what I perceive as a conspiracy. So anyway, that's where we are. Life is complicated. So anyway, that is all I have to say about that. If you enjoyed this video, give a thumbs up, share it with others, leave a comment below. If you do so, please be respectable. And if you think that Misty Roundtree is how should I frame it? Is not defending the Virginia Constitution that requires pure water, the state law, Virginia state law that requires pure water, the waterworks, permit, and so forth and so on. If you do not think that she is upholding her duty as a Board of Supervisor to address this issue and to stop the alleged illegal activity, then let me know. If you think this conduct is on the up and up, then I want to hear from you too. Let me know why you think that it is lawful in Henrico County to mass medicate the public with diluted hydrofluorosilicic acid. So anyway, that's all for today. Thanks for joining me. Bye, guys.